you're in your second home. You might as well just live there.
I know, I might as well. No, this is my last. Well, I'm here another night, I think, and then fly home. And that's me done for the season. Yeah.
I tell you what, I hope your plane trip isn't as exciting as that Ryanair one where the door wasn't closed. But you had an exciting boat trip the other day, did you?
Aye, it's coming across, and this has never happened before. With the captain aborted the docking. We were just coming up to Loch Ryan or Cairnryan, and then it just started doing this. We went back out again. So it did. It,
Mm-hmm.
So what was a long day just got an awful lot longer. 2.5 hours I was delayed. So yeah, wasn't good. But we got here. We got there in the end. Got there in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was just a long day. What about yourself? What have you been at?
My cousin's over, so I was down there for a slap up chicken dinner tonight. And the good thing about my cousin is I must have had half a chicken myself, so I've had about a kilogram of chicken. So it was I'm a happy chappy.
Oh yes, there's a surprise. Justin got fed. Justin's happy.
I know.
No,
Uh,
why? No, been excited. Were we watching the rugby? England got beat at the very last bit.
did they get beat? Did they?
Very last bit, England got beat.
Oh, well, his girlfriend will be well chuffed because she's an Argentinian.
Oh.
She may be watching this now. Hello, Maria, if you're watching.
England got beat. It took me what 2 minutes left in the 2 minutes.
Oh, they did not. All right. Oh, well, that's payback for the Mulvenas then. It's all right. She can take a joke.
No, the Springboks are still world champions.
I know.
But, yeah, we'll see.
See what happens. We better say hello to a load of people. A load of people in tonight already. Thomas Jones says hello. Hello to you. Julie Mason, hi to you. You'll be supporting New Zealand, no doubt. William McLennan, good evening all. Have we sample for you still, William? I have to drop it down. Thomas Jones says he's on the red silky tonight. Actually, must thank Sleeve League Distillers because they've shared our little short. Must have shared it. 250 views in our short at the Edinburgh Whiskey Festival last week. So that's excellent. Thanks to you. Switched on the hour. Michael Caldwell, evening all. There you go. Sean McClanton, good evening. Good evening to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sean. Anthony Sillett, evening one and all. Linda Cox saying hello. And then Julie Mason saying, exciting game. Yes, it was. I missed it. I had to come up the road there. So I thought they were going to do it actually. So they were creeping ahead. But and then Connor is saying, evening all lads. Darren Fleck, that's a new name. I haven't seen Darren Fleck before, have I?
Loads of times, yes.
Has he? There's that many people now. Sarah Fee says hello as well. If you're watching wherever you are tonight, always say hello. Always comment, like, and share, and always tag your friends. Trevor Watson saying hello as well. There's a wee ducky too. Yeah.
Double vision. Yeah, the wee duck in the hotel room.
Did you not have Jean-Claude Van? Listen, I had another engagement. Otherwise, we could have had exclusive access to Jean-Claude Van Damme. Everybody had access to Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I couldn't make it.
No one had access to Jean-Claude Van Damme other than the Whiskey Novice has now appeared. Jean-Claude Van Damme took a selfie of him and the Whiskey Novice.
Right, very
good. Yes. Oh, our Jim hobnobs with the stars.
Did you see him on the Late Late Show with Patrick Kelly? He says he thought he was in Belfast when he was in Dublin, and Dublin when he was in Belfast. But he is Belgian, so we'll give him an excuse. At least he brought chocolates. There you go. Yes. Everybody's saying hello. We met some lovely people at the whiskey show last week, including some viewers who were chatting away to me, but I realised we were hell for leather. We did guts of 8 hours broadcasting from that show last week. That was some going.
And then I had to fly back to Belfast first thing in the morning. But Edinburgh Airport rammed with people at that time in the morning. I went, oh god. But yeah, now we got back. Had to do 2 tours, Belfast. Then I had to jump on the what did I jump on? The bus to go down to Dublin.
There you go.
Where I did a whiskey experience down there. we'll talk about that at a later date.
At a later date. So he isn't firing from the hip.
Aye, but we do a wee bit of news, will we? About what's been going on in the world.
I think we shall.
Okay, we'll go down to Middleton. Middleton have they've launched a new sort of campaign, if you like, because they've opened a new Middleton distillery experience. It's a new visitor experience, and I see Deirdre O'Carroll on there. Remember we interviewed her a while back?
Yeah.
I just get a feeling they're grooming her up to be sort of the new. I don't know. Maybe eventually a replacement for maybe Billy Leighton or something. Smart girl, really funny, etc., etc. Really, really nice girl. Met her a couple of times. So yeah, I would imagine she's probably going to be the new face of Middleton. You can sort of see that coming up. So they've done that. They opened the new experience. What do you call him? Michael Martin, the Tanister. He came down and opened up. I think there's a photo of the three of them because there's Mr. Ricard himself and the girl who is the CEO of Irish Distillers. I hate. I'm going to mispronounce this. Nojame Food. Is that how you pronounce? I don't know. I think that's maybe how it's pronounced. But yeah. However,
it's your French.
No.
Right.
Where's she from? They've opened. Yeah, there was a video this week of Middleton because Storm Babbitt has hit Scotland. I got caught. That's why the boat was delayed.
Hold on, there's a message come in from Connor. He says, opened and very quickly closed due to unforeseen circumstances.
Yes, Justin, that's the story. That's the story, Justin.
Right.
I'm going to tell you why it's closed.
Oh.
Play the video, Justin.
What video? This video.
Yeah. So, that is Middleton meat.
Oh. I know.
Yeah.
That's scary, Marty.
So it's closed now. Then they put up the notice. They post it on Twitter or X or whatever you call it now. A notification basically telling that it's unprecedented and devastating flooding. We can confirm that the Middleton Distillery experience is closed. The site was damaged due to flooding yesterday, and we are currently working to understand the extent of the damage. Our teams in Dublin and Middleton are working hard to ensure the continued safety of colleagues. So, thoughts are with all those guys down there. A couple of roads over here in Scotland were washed away.
See, I thought it was only Scotland got it bad, Marty. I didn't realise it was that bad down south as well.
Yeah. Just look at it and just looks devastated. So I'm supposed to be going down to Middleton next month. So I'm not sure whether that'll happen at all or not, but it just looks horrendous. So it'll be closed until further notice. It was in the dark last night, apparently.
Wow.
So yeah, just horrendous. Aye. Serious flooding, several feet of water. Well, so hope everything is we can get it sorted out and get it fixed and up and running and everybody's I suppose these things happen, but after everything that's been happened to these businesses and to this to come in again, what else to come? Just something else. So thoughts for them. We haven't really talked about the new release that they brought out. So I do somehow feel that they may have the money to repair it, because they just brought out their new Forret. Pull it up. I can never pronounce the bloody name of it. Yeah, this one, the new Middleton Very Rare bottle. Can't see the bottle, Justin. Scroll down. The new. It looks beautiful.
It does.
It's a non-age statement blend, bottled at 46%, 1,350 bottles or something of it. And it's €5,000 a bottle, but they sold out of it, so fair play to them. I just think that's nuts.
It's almost like emerald, isn't it? It's like an emerald isle, emerald bottle. You know,
it's in glass.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a full on their money's easy part it. I think I know people buy these ultra premium bottles as investment. I mean, I can't see too many people opening them to drink. But what investment value is there on a non-age statement blend? That's not single cask, and they put out this little message to it that there might be, depending on availability, there might be more of it. So don't really know how many bottles of it there's going to be. Now,
hold on. How can it be a limited edition if there's going to be more of it?
Well, it said in the press release something along the lines of there will be, but depending on availability, on supply, there may be more. So it's madness. Yeah,
that's a weird one.
Yeah. So anyway,
yeah. There you go.
$5,000 a ball.
Yeah. Madness. It is. It is. Nobody will ever get to know what it tastes like either at that price, will they? Really?
I mean, in all seriousness, is it going to? It's not going to be the greatest whiskey in the world. You know what I mean? It's not going to turn around and it's going to say, "Oh my God, this tastes so good, it's worth $5,000 a bottle." No. So yeah, it's a bit nuts, but people are buying it, so fair play to them. Fair play to them. With their selling. Next up. They're learning from Bushmills. Bushmills pricing crazy. Anyway, next up, the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. There last week had a record-breaking whisky tasting. To mark the 40th anniversary, they went into the Guinness Book of World Records for the most participants in an online whisky tasting event. 447 members from 15 countries, overseen by an adjudicator from Guinness World Records. The tasting started at 2 p.m. BST, with members around the world tasting the same 3 drams of whisky simultaneously. So there was people from the UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Australia, Japan, China, South Africa, Hong Kong, Denmark, Switzerland, New Zealand, Mexico, Taiwan, and Korea. So yeah, John McShane, who we know and very, very nice guy is, participated, held court with it, and they tried 3 society drams. If I had a chance, I would have took part in that myself, because I think it just looks like it'd been a nice thing to do. So yeah, it's nice guys doing
and it's very reasonable to become a member of that society, isn't it?
It's not an expensive thing. It's £70-something for a year. Obviously, you have to buy your bottles and stuff at it, but you get access to some really nice stuff, you know.
We didn't manage to make it to the Kaleidoscope when we were in Edinburgh either, but we did manage to make it to Portleith Distillery, and it only been open. It was the first weekend open, and we managed to make it there, you know.
But you got to do. I didn't.
I know. I drunk your samples, don't you worry. Ryan was driving, so I got to drink his as well. 15 drinks later. Yeah, I know.
So Connor's just saying there that the Revolution Bar in Waterford has a bottle, and they're going to be opening it. Excellent. Wonder what price a half of it that's going to be. Yeah. Yeah, crazy prices for sure. But if they can afford it, why not? Up to them. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Exactly.
Aye, Great Society, love their stuff. Yeah, the Scotch Malt Whisky Society do some really, really nice stuff. The Kaleidoscope bar over here is well worth popping your head onto in Edinburgh if you get a chance. But yeah, speaking of sort of crazy, celebrity whiskies. Couple out this week. One in particular we'll talk about in a wee second. Floyd Mayweather has a whiskey out, and it's called Good Money Whiskey. I think Floyd Mayweather is one of the all-time great boxers, without question. I mean, he was almost impossible to hit, as much as I'm one of the great. But he is a prick. Let's be honest. He is an arsehole. Talented man, but an asshole. But he's bringing out 2 bottles of whiskey. So a 5-year-old blend at $40. Now it's Canadian, by the way. It's Canadian. 5-year-old blend, $40. 10-year-old rye, $85. Yeah, it's just a bit. I don't know. It's a bit sort of grubby. Who would want to be buying into this? I don't understand who wants to be buying into Floyd Mayweather's whiskey. But anyway.
But everybody wants, all the celebrities have, even minor celebrities like Gerry Armstrong have whiskies out.
Well, we'll be talking about that in a wee minute. But that seems a bit odd. Next one up released this week, AC/DC. AC/DC have a whiskey out with Valentine's. Kind of AC/DC can kind of get that. I sort of get the whole thing. It's £25 a bottle, so it's reasonable enough. Rock band, yeah, okay, and all good. It's a blend, but it says on the nose there are aromas of heather, honey, and hints of baking spice, leading to notes of milk chocolate, orchard fruit, and toasted malt on the palate. Personally, if I was going to be buying into a rock band, you kind of want leather, sweatiness, and maybe cocaine or something sniffing. You'd be looking for it, That's kind of what you'd be looking for.
I know.
Whenever they're trying to be all subtle, but it's like a heavy metal band. That I don't really get. But I think AC/DC, fair enough. That's good. Then there's a Whistle Pig one. I didn't send you a link for it, but there's Whistle Pig have teamed up with what's her name? Alfa Romeo team. I never sent you the link for it. It's a steak barrel and high rye whiskey selected by the Alfa Romeo F1 team. It's a single barrel bottle that's 96.77 proof, which is a nod to Valtteri Bottas's racing number and the precision of racing. Inspired by Zhu Guanyu, I hope I pronounced that right, the first Chinese F1 driver. It's finished in lychee and oolong tea. Yeah. So
is oolong the smoky one? I don't know whether that works or not. There's Russ. He thinks it's another celebrity trying to cash in his name.
What a surprise! But yes. So the Whistle Pig one's only available in the States, but they do ship. But then there was the legend, the new face of Irish whiskey, Jean-Claude Van Damme was in Belfast. But he launched it down in the Friend at Hand. My son popped down to say hello to the guys, and he got a tiny little video of John acting just about to go into the Friend at Hand. He only sent it's only like a 2-second clip. But this is Jean-Claude Van Damme heading into the Friend at Hand to spend a bit of time with the whiskey novice here.
Action.
See, here he goes. He's way on in. So he launched these.
We'll do that again. This is all we got. Somebody said that guy in the green looked like me. It wasn't. I couldn't make it. There we go. Look at that there. Brilliant.
So there you go. So he goes in and he has his new whiskey, Old Oak.
It's a very, very, very anglicized sort of English style name for a whiskey, Old Oak, isn't it?
Yeah, but I kind of get an idea of just how this all came about, if I'm honest. It's investors. And I may be wrong, I don't think I am. What they've done is they went to Chat GPT, where they've went, give us a name for an Irish whiskey or a whiskey name. It's popped up with that. They've then went to some designer, said we need a whiskey, and we'll try and make it look a bit sort of classic. Getting that. Then what they did was they went to rentaceleb.com. Going down the list, they got somebody that they recognised that was
and
really,
they could afford,
and that they could afford, and they've come up with the new face of Irish whiskey, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
But your one was, what was it, Duracell or something like that? Was more Irish looking. Your AI one that you come up with, do you remember?
Oh, but
it's not Photoshop, by the way. He really was there. He really was there. He's all over the media and TV and press here. He is really here. That is him.
He walked in, as Jim says, he says, I want to talk to the owner, and then shook Jim's hand because he thought Jim owned the place. No, yeah. It's the new face of Irish whiskey is Jean-Claude Van Damme. We've tried it.
Now, here, Russ says we should do our own. We'd make a fortune.
Oh, aye, yeah, that would be it. I'd have to think up a name, Justin. We'd have to think up a name.
What we'll call it? The whiskey for people that know nothing about whiskey. Enjoy.
Yes, just in the front of it.
And you can give a wee free hip flask with it the first purchase. Oh boy, we're good, Peter. We're good, Peter. We're good.
Yeah. Aye, Connor's saying now that the bottle's photoshopped into his hand. Yes, it is, absolutely.
It might be in that case. How's your chopper, Peter? How's your chopper? I know.
Well, yes. What they don't seem to have noticed.
There is an Indian whiskey called O'Rourke. You're right. I think there is.
Aye. Jim, you're saying it's farcical. You know that your job's going to have to be try and sell some of this stuff to people. Jim, did you give him your thoughts on the assessment of just how good a quality spirit that he is purveying? It's not great. It ain't great.
Is it going to be the case that they're going to have a face-off between Conor McGregor and Jean-Claude Van Damme for whose is the worst whiskey in the world? No?
Yeah. there may be some artistic license on that. But it's not good. It's not good.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get back to that at some point, but it's not good. You know what I'm having tonight? Something fairly straightforward. I'm having an old oak or a wise old isle whiskey down from the ones down in the Stoke. So I popped in the other day. Just was in there, saw Claire and Brona. And it's nice wee simple whiskey, 43%. Very clean, very easy to drink. And yeah, nice wee whiskey.
Yep.
Wise oil. So, the last story, it came up with Amber Beverages, who bought what do you call them, writers' tears and stuff, have announced that they're going to pump €35 million into the new Walsh Whisky Distillery, done down in Dunleckney, down in County Carlow. They are. It looks as if it's a big site. It looks as if it's a big place, and they are going to hopefully be up and running by 2026. So work's supposed to be starting very shortly, and get it up and running. So yeah, it should be up and running.
Marty isn't at home, so they aren't whiskey photos. This is in a hotel room in Edinburgh. They're just
Edinburgh, as we pronounce.
They're just hotel photos, stock hotel photos.
I don't know what it is.
It's in mirror image, by the way. Marty's in mirror image tonight.
Is it? No, well, they're there. I don't really know what they haven't really looked at them. It's just a hotel room, quite a nice hotel room, just across from the Edinburgh Castle. But yeah, so new distillery at 35 million being pumped in there. So more confidence coming into Irish whiskey. But yeah, now what we're saying here, I tried to talk someone out of buying a bottle afterwards. I could suggest any other whiskey in this shop that's better. So like, Ray tried to talk it up. God love you, Ray.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. Delighted for Bernard Watts. I like what he does. There you go.
Yeah, I have to say, Writer's Tears is a nice whiskey. It's very nice, very easy. The Irishman I'm not that massively keen on. I know there's a lot of different brands, a lot of different selections and aging and stuff, but some are better than others. But Writer's Tears, I think, is a very nice whiskey, very pleasant, easy to drink.
So Russ noticed you were a mirror image, and your face was like Bell's palsy. You were the wrong way. You were the wrong way round. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's high. I'm back in the Grass Market, Russ, where just across the street from where I met you last time. But yeah, yes, Julie, you are quite right, my dear. Lagavulin Nick Offerman whiskey is quite nice. Then you do love Ron Swanson, but yeah, the Lagavulin Nick Offerman tie-up is quite nothing really wrong with celebrity tie-ups. I mean, these days everybody needs a bit of market space and shelf space, whatever. And if you have a celeb beside it, then it's sort of brand recognition automatically. There's nothing wrong with it per se, but it's the kind of logic behind what is Jean-Claude Van Damme doing with Irish whiskey? It just doesn't really make much sense. It's kind of hard to sort of quantify some of them. Build a large fort around their new distillery. It was the flood prevention's really what they need to be doing. The ice wine, Writer's Tears, very nice drink. But to be honest, it's a great range. It's a really, really nice range. And still think the annual release bottles, really collectible. Not that many releases or not that many bottles of it, and makes a nice collection. Although the original one, the 2011, is getting reasonable money. But yeah, it makes a nice collection. So it does.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Remember to comment, like, and share. We're halfway through the show tonight. We still have our very own celebrity launch in Belfast to come. A great interview coming up with Gerry Armstrong, conducted by Tina Calder, who's his publicist, because obviously there's lots of people there clamoring. We actually did a little interview, or Marty did, and it's already gone out on Instagram. So this is actually the thought and the thinking behind the whiskey. So that's coming up very shortly tonight here on Irish Whiskey Review. Remember, we're live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Telegram, Twitter, and we'll probably put the interview out on Anchor, wherever you get your podcasts as well. Because if we talk about pictures and we show pictures, it doesn't work if we put everyone out on a podcast, because people say they get annoyed because they can't see the pictures, if you know what I
mean. I'm just reading the comments here. Yeah, in fairness, Nick Offerman, Lagavulin approached him on the basis of Ron Swanson's Park and Rex character. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, celebrity endorsement is what it is. People have always had celebrity endorsements, and fair enough. I mean, take them as for what they are. But I mean, the likes of David Beckham, the Hague thing, and he's sitting there in his sunglasses with Hague. David Beckham doesn't drink whiskey, and even if he does, the Hague doesn't really qualify as that anyway these days. But
Rod Stewart stuff. Have you tried Rod Stewart stuff yet?
I'm not bothered with that either. But it's just you take it for what it is. I mean, if a celebrity has a whiskey, they're the brand ambassador, they're in the advertising. Fair enough.
We did mention it, Peter. Rewind to the start. We mentioned the Florette.
Peter, come on, you have to get with the program, man. Way in front of you.
Mark Birmingham saying hello to you, and that Beckham stuff was it was pure ballons.
Yes, it looked like an aftershave bottle, and the whiskey was just bizarre. It wasn't really a whiskey.
Celebrity toilet roll. Well, actually, I would do celebrity toilet roll. Yes.
Justin would sign every sheet.
I would sign every sheet. Yes.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Something you would do. All these celebrity endorsements is just bit of fun, really, as much as anything else. But that's what it is. But we're going to play the video. A few weeks ago, there was
Jean-Claude Van Damme actually owns half the distillery, so it's not just
no, he does.
Well, it's Seraphice, is there? Look.
There's a question mark at the end of that, Justin.
Oh, right.
Aye.
No.
He doesn't own the distillery. He basically stuck his face on a brand. That's basically
right.
Because I'm not 100% sure where they're getting it, to be honest. You want to just automatically say GND, but I don't think I'm not 100% sure that's where it is. Anyway, a few weeks ago, guy launched a whiskey, and it's a sort of semi-celebrity brand, but most people won't have heard of this guy. And this guy, there was a match years ago where Northern Ireland had qualified for the World Cup, and it was 1982. And for anyone who knows anything about the history of Northern Ireland, 1982 was a very difficult year, very difficult. We were stuck in the middle of the Troubles, just horrendous stuff, day and daily coming on the news. People watching the news were watching what was going on, thinking that everybody's like the lunatics that were running about here at the time. But Northern Ireland qualified for the World Cup in the same group as the hosts, Spain. And they managed to top the group. Now, they didn't go on to win the thing or whatever, but Northern Ireland managed to beat Spain 1-0 when they played them. And Gerry Armstrong scored a goal. Now, he has brought out this whiskey. Now, it's limited. There's not that many bottles. I think there's 1,500 bottles. Gerry, really should have been out last year. And that would have marked the 40th anniversary. But there was a few hiccups and delays and it got put back and so on. But Gerry, of the 1,500 bottles, he signed every single bottle. And it comes in a cardboard tube. And he signed every one of them too. That's probably why it's not out last year, because his hand's gouting. Yeah. So he's launched this whiskey. I personally think the likes of that is a nice thing. It's if you know someone who's living away abroad or whatever, and they're whiskey drinkers, that's a nice thing to buy and send over. So I think it would be a nice thing as a present. He talks about this. He talks about his dad drinking Jameson and so on and so forth. And they picked out. They had a number of blends that they could try, and this was the one that he picked. As I say, it's not. It's what is it? It's £40 a bottle. Something like that, 35, £40 a bottle, spiritofeaty2.com. So we got a little bit of a recording of him launching it, and we did a wee tiny bit of an interview.
Which has already gone out on Instagram. So this is just the launch. Here we go. Why is that beach ball in?
I don't remember. I don't know. All these people saying they remember where they were when he scored the goal. I was only a wee kid, guys, so I was maybe lying down in a wee bed because I had to go up for school in the morning, you know. Justin,
I don't know why it's beach balling. It's my own channel. It's my own content, and it should be working, but it's not. Oh, here it is.
Are you sure?
it's going at my end.
No, it's not going.
It's not going there. I have no idea what's going on whatsoever. That has never happened before.
We don't need look out back and again. That work.
I'm going to roll it out and roll it back in again, and we'll see.
Ooh.
But that should go. We'll try a different one.
Aye.
Who
goes for the whiskey social next week? Is everybody going? Who else going over it on Europa next Saturday? Just while Justin's getting the getting it wound back up again.
I know it's like Clockwork Orange. It's like this. It's like the Subway and thing. We'll see. I'm gonna hit play.
There we go.
That's working. Is it working? Is that moving? Is that moving? No. I always do everything 3 times, Jim, so that there's always a backup. But sometimes that fails you. Here we go. We will see.
Hey, Peter Lavery, you stop telling jokes and get down here. Come on, Stuart. Oh, there's Baggots. The Baggots are here. What happened to that wardrobe, Liam? There's Luther from Seven Spice. Okay, everybody, can you come closer to the front, please? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming tonight. Oh, we're all right. Come on, Tom. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for coming tonight. We're really delighted to welcome you here. And we want to say a big, massive thank you to Peter and the team for facilitating this launch. Peter has been a fantastic help in this whole journey. So, Gerry, what I want to talk about first, before we get to the whiskey, before we get to 1982, tell me a little bit about the journey and why did you decide to launch a whiskey?
Had a conversation with Peter and Richard one day and talking about whiskies, and you know, he had plans for his own whiskey and he was saying, would you be interested in doing one for yourself? And I thought about it and I thought, well, it's nearly 40 years coming up for since 1982, and I thought it was a fantastic idea because 1982 meant so much to myself, the team, and the people of Northern Ireland, and in fact the people of Ireland completely. So it meant so much to them all, and it made a huge impact on everybody on this island. So I thought it deserved a whiskey.
And of course, we're going to talk a little bit about 1982 a little bit later. When you started your journey into the world of whiskey, did you think it was going to take this long? Because I know that there was a lot of tasting, a lot of organising, a lot of, I suppose, really getting the product right. Wasn't that the most important thing for you?
Well, it was a process, and if you wanted it to be right, you wanted it to be special and right on and spot on. And it has to spend at least 3 years in these barrels to become an Irish whiskey. So there was a lot of things happening, and it is a long time ago that we started it, but you know, it was worth waiting for. I'm very pleased, and the elimination process of when you're trying to pick, and Peter was brilliant. He had people who knew all their whiskies and pointed me in the right direction. They actually got myself and Deborah down one lunchtime. Had to get taxis home, by the way, and it was at least 18 or 20 different samples of whiskey, and I had to say in each 2 it was yes or no, and most of them are actually really good, but you have to choose one out of it, and then you eliminate it down to 10, and then you eliminate it down to 8 and 6 and 4, and we were left with the last 3, and he said, can I have a wee look at the bottom? So he looked at the bottom, because he had put numbers on them and what he thought was the process of elimination, his favourite. And we had number 1 and number 3 in the last 3. So I was happy enough with that. And I picked number 1 because it did taste a wee bit like a Jameson, and I do like a Jameson. So
if you're allowed to say that, Jim.
Listen, it's a compliment. It's a compliment. But
he did not rub off Jameson.
No, my father is a big Jameson drinker. At 93, he still drinks the Jameson, and we were at the wedding on Friday night. A lot of my family here, my sister, my brother and all. And thanks everybody for coming as well, it's great. And there's my old mate, Liam. Thanks, Liam and Tracy. you know, and the music man, where is he, Eddie? Hiding in the back there. Thanks, Eddie. You know, so it was great for everybody who put all the effort into it, and it's taken longer than I wanted it to take, but it's worthwhile. They're all complimenting the cylinders. That's what the last hurdle was. It was a work of art.
I want to ask him about this because I was over there while he insisted on signing every single
I signed
bottle
every one.
and every single cylinder. I was like, Jerry, you already have your signature. He was like, no, they have to have both. Explain to me why it was important for you to have the cylinder, to have the signature.
Well, if you look at the bottom part there, there's a picture there, and on the left-hand side, you have the centre half, Alisanko, and then you've got Gordillo, who's the fullback, and you've Arcanata, the goalkeeper in the middle, and then there's somebody called Armstrong there sticking the ball in the back of the net. But it was a very, very special moment, and what it meant, I mean, we were no hopers. We're not supposed to be there. We're not supposed to score any goals. We're not allowed to do anything. We were there to make up the numbers. I don't think so. We weren't there to make up the numbers. But anyway, we had to get it right. So Peter then said, we knew somebody. I think you know who it was, the artist. We got an artist to take the draw from the actual picture, and it was obviously a one-off.
And really, I suppose that brings us back to the importance of having the right people around you, and Peter being able to give you contacts with those expertise and things like that. How important is it for you now to, I suppose, be out there in the football clubs promoting this? Because I know you've lots of gigs already lined up. And
what are you talking about? You know, I've already been out. You were in one of them with me, Crusaders, you know. And we've done Comber and we've done Carrick Rangers, but there's loads of other clubs like Ballymena United. Jackie Fullerton was there, and there was over 300 people. And it was many months ago, but I said at the time, let's get a bit closer to it when we've actually got the cylinders and we've got them signed and the whiskey's bottled and all. So this is it. This is it all done.
So we've got the book, we've got the whiskey.
Yep.
Is there something else coming?
The whiskey? I don't know. I don't know. Is there any more, Debbie?
Pregnant.
Oh. Sounds like the Beckhams here, doesn't it? Luther, Posh Spice. Hey, Posh Spice. There's a ring about that. He's the owner of the Spice restaurant, by the way. So Posh Spice, yes. But
when it comes to creating a whiskey like this, what were the things that you were thinking about in terms of the people who were going to drink it? Because we've seen Carl Frampton launch his, we've seen other sports people launch different drinks and things like that, but you were very particular about the type of whiskey you wanted and how it was going to be served.
Yeah, my family like whiskey. My Uncle Mickey's not here tonight, but if he had been here, he'd been sampling the whiskey. My father was here for a few days for the wedding, but he is a big whiskey drinker. And he's a connoisseur when it comes to whiskies. Brother Sean loves his whiskey. He's here tonight. I haven't even spoken to him yet. What do you think, Sean? Nice, there you go. So I wanted them to taste the whiskey and go, wow, that's actually a really good whiskey. So that's what I wanted to hear, the wow factor. And when I first sampled it in the bottle, and when it was being bottled, and I just sort of thought, well, pour a little drop and let me taste it just to be sure. And I was thinking, that's good, I like it. And you want the flavours, you want the taste, you want people to sort of think, that's not an ordinary whiskey, that's a special whiskey, because it was a special occasion. And I want people to remember it for that reason.
And I suppose with it being a limited edition, there's going to be lots of people who are going to buy this and probably keep it.
Yep.
To me, that's a bit of a crime, given that it's so lovely. So I think you should all buy two.
Well, it's limited edition. There's only 1,500. It is limited edition, but you know, that makes it even more special. In the years to come, it'll go up in value. You know, as you know, that's what goes on with whiskey. So my mate Peter Lavery tells me. Well, I can't even see Peter. You hiding there?
What we're going to do is we're going to.
I see your arm at the back. I see him at the back. Okay.
So if we could maybe get some people to help us, we're going to hand out a little taster sample to everyone, and then we're going to just talk you through some of the tasting notes and give you a little bit of an indication of what you can find in there. So don't drink it yet until we tell you a little bit more about it.
Did we put the pop-up on?
Nobody gave me the pop-up, Jerry.
I brought it in the door. I brought it in. I see it.
Okay.
I see it. Where is it? I brought it in the door.
Luther.
Luther, where'd you put the pop-up? Oh, there's it there. Thank you.
Gee, thanks. I'm not busy right now. I can talk about this.
That's all on you. You keep that.
Eddie, would you do that, pal? Thank you. Cheers, Eddie. Thank you. Yes, I've actually looked at them before, but
I know, but just
you know, so
that's them there. Wait till everybody's got it.
okay.
So has everybody got one? If you haven't got one, get your hand up. Unless you look under 18, then you definitely can't have one.
Julie's is on a second one. Hey, don't be telling anybody. Julie, she can have a third, don't worry. Hey? Yeah.
Okay, so while Eddie's struggling with the top, it should have up 40 minutes ago, Tara.
Good question. Is it the other way round?
No, not yet.
Oh, here, we had this before.
Okay, so if I could have everybody's attention, we're going to go through the tasting notes with you. Jerry, focus.
Sorry.
How did 1982 happen? Why?
Listen, I was going to go and do it for them, but I'm too busy here. Armstrong, Gerry Armstrong, what a worker he is.
You weren't his agent then? Why did he ever do it?
Nobody had agents then.
No.
You know, there was something that was due to happen, but I never had an agent.
So obviously with this being a blended whiskey, there's lots of beautiful tastes within that. So what we've done is we've asked Jerry to give you a roundup of what's in there, and a big thank you to Arisha who helped us out, because we haven't a clue what we're doing really when it comes
Arisha,
to it.
Siobhan, they've all been brilliant. They've been fantastic.
So Jerry, tell us a little bit about, so people have their whiskey on them. What kind of tastes should they be?
Right, and the nose of the whiskey is a creamy honey nut with a touch of a delicate floral. Now, I like creamy and I like honey nut. I don't know what floral it is, but it all adds to go to the palate, which is soft vanilla, which I do like vanilla, and it's a green apple and a hint of, you're going to love this, all spice. Right? You're going to love it, Luther. And then, of course, the finishing is a warming with a medium finish and a lingering spice. Spice is in there twice. You're glad you came now, Luther, aren't you? So it's just a trip, but it is a tribute. I mentioned it earlier. I can't really overemphasize. We played a football match in the World Cup in 1982. We won our group against the host nation. We beat the host nation, and we blew everybody out of the water, and the whole world just stood up and took notice of Northern Ireland. And 1.8 million, 1.9 million people. But it wasn't just that. It was the next day when Billy Bingham had said to me, go and check on the foyer. And the foyer had 350 odd telegrams from all around the world, from the Taoiseach, from the Reverend Dean Paisley, from America, Canada, Australia, you name it. They were coming in from everywhere. And it wasn't until then that we actually realised we had done something special. There were street parties in the Falls Road, there were street parties in the Shankill Road, and we had brought the communities together, which the politicians are still trying to sort out. You know, so we now have a system where if you get a team that will give you 120% commitment and attitude and belief in each other, we can make this wee country something special. Not that it's not special already, but it can be even more special. So that's what it means to me, the whiskey, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
I was at a match at the weekend, the Strikers, anybody who's a Crusaders fan, and the girls did an amazing job, but one thing that I noticed was the importance of teamwork and spirit, because they were up against a team that had 6 international players against their 1. How important was it for you guys to keep those spirits up on the field at that time? Because you were up against Spain, the whole world thought you were probably going to lose. You had to keep, I suppose, your mindset in the right place.
You want to see our team talks beforehand. You know, we had team meetings. Martin O'Neill was our captain. And Martin brought us together and he said, right, you know, the Irish FA put a package to us, and you know, it was about £50,000 or £60,000 for the players, and they said that's what they'll give you. And he said, you know, that's just to play in the tournament. But there was no mention of qualifying for the quarterfinals, and Martin negotiated a different deal where we didn't get paid in the first round. We only get paid if we qualified for the quarterfinals, which meant we had to finish in the top two.
Nothing like an incentive.
Yeah, but it was 125 grand. He negotiated, and he sat us all down and said, right lads, you know, look at the group, you know, Yugoslavia, we can get a draw against Yugoslavia. And I went, Martin, they scored 26 goals in qualifying. You know, in 7 or 8 matches they scored 26 goals. We hadn't scored 26 goals in 10 years. You know, so it was crazy, and I thought, that's a big ask, you know, but we knew our strength. Our strength was as a unit, not one player. And like Pat Jennings was a special goalkeeper, and we all knew that we always had the best goalkeeper in the world as the last line of defence. But we had a fantastic back four, fantastic midfield, fantastic forwards, and everybody was going to give 120%. And then Billy Bingham pulled a couple of strokes. He changed John O'Neill at the back to John McClelland, who had a wee bit more pace than John, and John was brilliant, but John had maybe a little bit more pace. Then he went for up front. He put Billy Hamilton up front with Norman Whiteside, who was 17 years and about 30 odd days old. He's the youngest player ever to play in the World Cup. Nobody takes decisions like that, but our manager did. And then he put me in the midfield to strengthen our midfield and to protect Jimmy Nicholl. So these were all strokes of genius that Billy performed before a ball was even kicked. So it was all going on. We trained really hard, and we were focused on what we had to do. We got the draw against Yugoslavia. We took the lead against Honduras. We thought we could beat Honduras. Martin said, we'll beat Honduras, and we only need a draw against Spain. And I thought, that sounds feasible, possible. And we were 1-0 up and hit the post, and then we conceded the goal. They made it 1-1. So we ended up drawing. It meant we had to beat Spain last game. So we had a meeting the day before the actual game by the pool. After training, we had our lunch and we were lying by the pool, and Martin says, right, come in here, lads. And he said, look, you know what's going to happen. First 20 minutes of this game, the Spaniards are going to come at us, and we'll do what we're good at. We get behind the ball, we'll work them across the field, but won't let them penetrate. And he said, and as the game progresses, their fans are going to get annoyed because we're not going to give them nothing. And he said they'll get frustrated, and he said then we'll start creating a couple of chances. We'll get 2 or 3 opportunities, we'll put one of them in the net, and we'll beat them 1-0. That's what he said the day before the game.
Can you remember the moment the ball hit the back of the net? Tell us what that felt like.
It was slow motion, Tina, because you don't get many chances, and it was the first clear-cut chance we had. The goalkeeper, Arcanata, had pushed the ball out to me, and I was running onto it, and all I could think was I could see bodies in front of me. There was Alessanco, there was Camacho, Arcanata had got back up again, and he was spreading himself, and I thought, hit the target, don't miss the target, get your knee over the top of the ball, hit it hard and low, and it did, and it goes through 2 sets of legs, not one, but 2 sets of legs before I hit the back of the net, and it was like slow motion. But the thing was, there was no cheer. You know, when the ball hits the back of the net, you wait for the roar. There was no roar, because the 50,000 Spaniards weren't happy. They were not happy. We had about 600 or 700 Northern Irish fans who were cheering all around the...
They were probably just shocked, were they?
No, they were cheering. Trust me, they were cheering all right. But I saw Norman put his hands up and Sammy McElroy putting his hands up, and they come running towards me, and I thought, where's this referee? Because the referee was really dodgy. He was a South American, and I looked over, and I didn't speak Spanish then, but the players were all talking to the South American Paraguayan referee, and I looked over, and he blew the whistle and pointed to the centre circle, which means it's a goal. I thought, shit, he's given the goal. So that was when you can celebrate, but it was the 47th minute. We had a long way to go, and Martin didn't say in his speech the day before that Mal Donaghy was going to get sent off 10 minutes later. So we played with 10 men for the last half an hour plus of the game, and they would never have scored, I'll tell you. We had them in our pockets. It was like no chance.
And once you get that goal, once you're on top, and the spirit of the team is behind it, do you think if it had gone the other way, you would have clawed a goal back?
I'm glad it didn't go the other way, Tina, let's put it like that. I've been there a few times before, but it was... you don't think like that. We know we have to keep a clean sheet, and we're good at that. We only conceded 3 goals in qualifying. Wow. That's something special, you know. One was to Portugal, one was to Sweden, and we had a 1-1 draw with Scotland, who won the group. And the rest of the games, we played really well. We beat Sweden 3-0. Yeah, that's crazy. Northern Ireland beating Sweden 3-0 in the World Cup. And then beating Portugal. How can we beat Portugal? I know Ronaldo wasn't playing then, but they were still a very good side. And we played them off the park. We deserved our win at home in Windsor. And we beat Israel the final game of the match to qualify. And it was a momentous occasion at Windsor Park when we did. And tens of thousands of people. There's a lot of them were here tonight that were there. And
when it was all said and done, and you guys came home the heroes, what was that like? Well, you know, because obviously at some point you finished the competition, but you were coming home heroes in comparison.
You don't get a chance to be heroes because we had about 10 days off, maybe less, and then you've got to go back into training with your club. And my club was Watford, and we were just promoted to top flight football. So I had to go to Norway and train and start all over again. And it wasn't until the October I got over to Belfast. There was a big event at the City Hall. I mean, it was 100,000 people, open deck bus, never seen anything like it. It was amazing. And all my family were there. My granny and I, she was a GAA woman there. She's up supporting me up there at the City Hall. And my aunt and my mum and the family were all there. It was fantastic. It really was brilliant.
Did you ever think when you were on the GAA pitch yourself that you'd be scoring the goal for Northern Ireland?
Never even thought I'd be a soccer player. I only ended up being a soccer player because I punched someone in Gaelic. I punched them too hard. That was what I did. Punched them too hard in the Gaelic and suspended for 6 weeks. So that was how I started my journey into playing soccer and playing for Bangor, and 3 years later signing for Spurs.
And of course you're a commentator now, but it's a very different game today than it was back in your day. What would you say are the main differences?
Well, as Liam Beckett said, most of the game now is shite, doesn't it, Liam? What do you say?
Liam, I just want to get you up next. So.
Or should I say manure? No, the game's changed a lot. It's a lot less physical. Players play act. They do. You touch them, they fall, they roll 3-4 times. How can you roll 3 or 4 times when you've been hurt? You don't. You know, and it's like 2 months after the World Cup, I was playing. We were top of the league, Watford top of the league. We weren't supposed to get promoted, and we weren't going to survive. And 2-3 months afterwards, we were top of the league, and I jumped for a ball and land awkwardly, and I break my ankle on my leg. But I think I'm okay, so I'm still trying to run on it, and it's not really working too well. So I go off and I think it's like and I'm thinking I don't want to miss the Germany game. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. I hope it's not too serious. And then you find out you've got a plaster cast going on for 6 to 12 weeks, and you're going to miss half the season. And I was gutted, but you just got to get on with it. You know, you persevere. And I'm looking at players now who go down at the drop of a hat, and I see players jumping with their hands, and the fingertips touches an opponent on the cheek, and they go down, and the elbows and all that. You know, I can't stand it. It's really not my type of game anymore.
And of course you chatted about Liam. Liam, come on up. I'd love to get your thoughts on 1982.
Here's my mate, Beckett. Come on, mate. Liam Beckett, ladies and gentlemen. Come around here. You take that, mate.
No, here, you two take that.
All right.
I let you two
Are those subtitles sort of their own? Right?
For those who are not from Northern Ireland, Liam's from Ballymena. Or Ballymoney.
Jackie Fullerton always used to say to me, Liam, you know Jackie? That's right. He always used to say to me, Liam, speak slowly and concisely. For the first 20 minutes, everybody thinks you're Polish. So Anna, could I just say, maybe before I sit back down again, it's not very often we really get into be in the presence of, I think, greatness. And this man always puts himself down. This is one of our Northern Ireland's greatest ever legends, and I mean that. And I'm just wishing him and the spirit of '82 every success, because I love to see good, ordinary people like him, working class, a good lad who's done good, and an absolute credit to us. A Celtic right enough, but not a bad fella. But absolutely top drawer, and I just love to see, particularly a guy like this that doesn't get it reached to him, a bit like the Dunlops and other people like that, coming up the tough way, getting to the very top of their profession. And this is somebody we can always be proud of. He's never let us down, and I hope it's great success.
Thank you, mate.
I'm going to get this hairstyle next year.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Liam. Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
Everyone, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate your time. We know that your time is precious. If you do want to purchase one of the bottles, you can in the shop down the back, or you can grab one online at spirit82.com. So I want to just double check, because I always like to ask, is there anybody out there that has a question that they'd like to ask Gerry about the whiskey or even his career? I'm looking at the journalists in the corner.
Chelsea.
You have to save that for Wednesday or Thursday. Paul. All right, Paul.
Is this confirmation?
There you go, Marty. What about that? It was an excellent evening, wasn't it?
It was. As I say, for what happened back in '82, I was only a kid. I was what, eight years age, 7 at the time. But for a load of people, sort of the generation above me, just in the middle of the murder and mayhem that was going on and the troubles, that a Catholic guy from the Falls Road scores winning goal against the host nation at the World Cup. I mean, it's sort of a bit of a fairy tale in many ways. And loads and loads and loads of people will remember that if they're from here. And it makes it just a nice present. You know?
And he was a really nice guy too.
Yeah, oh, lovely guy, lovely guy.
Yeah.
Liam Beckett there, he's obviously from the back in the promised land, you know. Back in, he used to play football with my Uncle Sammy Beckett. But yeah, it's if anybody's looking at sort of Christmas present for someone, makes a nice one. Makes a nice one.
It's a no-brainer. There was Anthony Sillett giving you the lowdown there. Look at that there. Checked out Spirit of 82 postage to mainland UK. Very good value at $2.95, 10 times cheaper than some companies charge from the Republic. Well done, them.
Yeah, no, as I say, nice. But very pleasant, easy to drink whiskey. I think everybody in the night sort of thought, yeah, that's tasty enough. I mean, it's just not a single cask, 15-year-old cask strength. It's an easy drinking, nice whiskey. There's a nice bit of story to it, and well, gets Gerry a couple of quid too, you know.
I know. And well, we might have another special next week. We might be somewhere special, but we don't know.
You never know.
You never know. Keep watching. Remember to comment, like, and share. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Telegram, Twitter, wherever you get your podcast from. Thanks for supporting us. It's going hell for leather at the minute. We're powering our way towards the magic 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed all the coverage last week from Edinburgh. Sorry, when we're in Edinburgh, it's that busy. We can't look at the messages and comment because there's that many people coming up just to talk. Just when we're there, we can't even talk to all of them.
But it was dead nice getting caught up with some of the people that we've met before that have been at festivals. The guys up at the and whatnot. Yeah, so it was nice.
Thanks, guys. Good night. Catch you same time, same place next week. And there you go. Thank you. Good night.